Hi, Mitchell Levy, the AHA guy at AHAthat. We're going to talk about step 2 of the writing process. Potentially one of my favorite steps. I've curated over 50,000 AHA messages. So we're going to be right here, which is read the AHAthat writing guidelines. You can go to ahathat.com/author. It's there for you to pick up and read. It's a single page PDF. It'll take you 5 minutes. If you don't do this on a regular basis, if you end up doing other things as well, I highly suggest you reread this every time because, sometimes our ghostwriters and a lot of times our authors first time out are not writing it because you're just not familiar with the overall concept of an AHA book. Here's the number one thing to think about. Every quote, every AHA message has to be standalone. So if you saw that and only that one quote, like 7 years ago, we know exactly what that is and where that's from and what it means and what it implies. You don't have to worry about the rest of the elements that go into that phrase, that sentence, that structure, that quote. So what's important is if you look at the 140 quotes that you have written in that Excel spreadsheet, can any one of them stand by itself? So that's the number one most important thing. What I also think about is when I'm reading an AHA book, just like a lot of times if you pick up a book, what happens when you pick up a book? Well, you may look at the first chapter, the last chapter. In an AHA book case, you may open up the book and you may read AHA message number 1 and AHA message number 140 and then decide if you want to read any more. Right? So you look at 1 and 140, decide if you want to read any more. I also think about that, and it's not listed here, I probably should, is for each section. The first and last one should also be upbeat and focused. Now, what's super cool about the platform is every AHA message gives attribution to the author. And one of the things that we do, you could either give it the Twitter handle or we have a short URL service, AHA.pub, AHA.pub/author name, and then we can have that set up to go to whatever appropriate. It could go back to Twitter or probably you wouldn't do it for Twitter, but you go back to LinkedIn or to the web page or wherever attribution is appropriately given to that author. Obviously, no plagiarism. A lot of times what you can do is include hashtag and URLs in the AHA messages. Now the URL, this is really cool. The URL is going to point to YouTube, SlideShare if you got more content to share, top of funnel content. So if you want to lead to the location at the top of funnel where they can pick up some lead candy, we can get their email address and then take it from there. That's a great use of it. To the website. If the book is about an existing book that's on the marketplace, point to the location in Amazon where the book's available for sale. That's where the URLs go. Now the hashtag is also another interesting way to be able to give context to this particular AHA message. So in a lot of cases, one of the books I'm reading now, the author has written some phenomenal quotes, absolutely phenomenal, some as small as 4 words. What he needs, and it's about reliability. So what he needs is hashtag reliability or hashtag product reliability. And then you put that in context with the rest of the words in his AHA messages, and you know exactly what it's focused on. Then you could do a campaign where you get to own that hashtag and you go to different places like Twerb and you actually register the hashtag and you own it. But that's a different marketing message and maybe time for another video. What else? You want to make sure your tweets are your AHA messages are available for Twitter form and easily shareable. I like to think about 115 characters that you can then have and add more, but obviously sometimes we add more than that. What else? Oh, here's one that's important. Lots of people make this mistake, and that is if you have a list of items, you can't say item 1 and then item 2 and then item 3 because by definition, if you just have if you get to a message that says item 3 and that's the only thing you saw, well, 3 of what? And where is 1 and 2? And what do I do? So in those, at the very minimal case, you could say item 1 of 3 or item 1 of 10. Then if you happen to run across an interesting AHA message that is, and typically it wouldn't be item, it would be a list of cool facts or list of cool red hot chili pepper facts, if you're grabbing a particular brand, 1 of 10. Then if you run across the 3 of 10, you're going to try to figure out, and you like it, you're going to try to figure out where the other ones are. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it. You can read through the rest. I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy the writing. I want you to have so much fun writing that it comes through in your aha messages so that you're really capturing the imagination of the reader and the reader has fun reading. Thanks a lot for joining us. Look forward to reading and sharing your aha messages. Bye now.